Well, hello, Scrapper Names fans. How are we all? I am back with my design team share for the Use Your Stuff challenge blog. With this week's challenge being all about pets. So you could do a layout, a card, or anything like that about your pets. So I have some gorgeous papers here that I recently got from the my scrapbook room. So here is my choices. You saw my photo just briefly there. It's of my daughter with our cat, who is getting old and crazy, but she generally seems to like coming into the house of a night now, and she likes curling up with Hannah, my daughter, in bed. So Hannah thinks that's fantastic, except when kitty cat's a bit playful and wants to eat her feet. But anyway, so yes, so I have chosen this paper here. It's really quite bright because the photo itself is a bit dark. There's touches of pink, as you can see, and some blue in what Hannah's wearing, but I think the brighter background really sort of makes it stand out a bit more. So I'm just going with that. What you can see there is I've decided I'm going to do some stenciling, as again I tried to make some of the layering a bit bright, or the embellishing of the page. So I'm using my Colour Blast colour paste in Bling. I love this colour. I love this paste. I say this every time I do a video with using this, but oh my god, it is so easy and so smooth to go on. I think that's going to be my next purchase, is maybe a few of these. Anyway, so I'm just using a stencil I picked up at the recent craft show that was here. So I don't know who's it by, what's called, all the rest of it, but it's this real funny sort of splotchy pattern, and I just thought it was something a bit different, something a bit crazy, perfect for this layout for my daughter's book. She's a bit crazy, so is the cat. So yeah, and I just like the gold, it just added a nice touch. So I don't show you doing both sides. What I show you is that they're done. I've dried them with my heat tool. The spots there, it didn't take very long to dry at all, and I didn't pre-gesso the page, just so you know. Alright, so I did a reorganise of my scrap room recently, so anyone who's following on my channel would have seen that over the weekend. So in that, I actually found these like textured, sort of corrugated, coloured bits of, I guess like cardboard. Anyway, and I thought that colour that you can see on the right would be perfect for this layout. So I grabbed it, as you can see, and I will layer it up and you'll see that. These pieces are some older, I think they're older collections, as I said, that I got in my recent haul. I thought the black background here with the parts added a touch of colour, but also just sort of grounded it all a little bit, because I've got so much bright going on, which is what I wanted. But I sort of don't want the photo just floating around as such amongst all that colour. So I just, yeah, as you can see, I just roughly measure it up and away I go. There you go, Family & Co. Focus. That's what it's called. I don't know who it's by. Sorry, I didn't catch that strip. So for any of my subscribers that are plodding along with the challenges at the Use Your Stuff blog, how's everyone going? Have you given it a go? If so, feel free to, have a share of what you've accomplished. As I said, I'm part of the design team. I did miss last week's one, I think, and just got this one in on the Sunday night, so was lucky. But as I've said before, you can do a layout, you can do a card, you can do something sort of off the page. There's no rule there to that. So yeah, if you, as you said, when you want to stretch your stash or start using bits and pieces up, by all means jump over, have a look. I'll put the link at the end of the video here for the blog page. And I believe there's a community group on Facebook as well. Yeah, so you can pop over there and have a look and share what you've done. Alright, I really love this heart page. So this is a Dear Lizzie Saturday one. And I've not seen any of these papers before, to be honest. There was a little sale going on the my scrapbook room shop, so I had to jump on and had a look, and there was all these bits papers that I'd not seen before, so whether or not I'm just living in a scrapbooking cave, I'm not sure, but yeah, so I grabbed some things I hadn't seen, and it was really good. And I'm just figuring out here, back to the layout, sorry, how I'm going to use this. I was really conscious that it is bright and sparkly sort of thing and shimmery, so I didn't want it to sort of be blaringly in your face, but I really liked that textured look it gave to the page. It just added to sort of the bling that's the gold texture paste, and just made it sort of, yeah, just gave a bit of shimmer and shine to the back of the photo, which was really cool, which I was really happy with. So I don't know where I got these from. They have been sitting in my stash since, as I said, I think these are one of the first lot of things I might have been given or got when I was scrapbooking many years ago. And they have always just floated around my stash. And this, I didn't realise I had this colour. I didn't realise I had that much left until I sort of pulled everything out of my drawers and things the other day and went, oh, okay, cool. And I remembered it was there when I did this layout and a few days later, and yeah, so there it is. I was going to use some others to make some embellishments on this page, but I changed my mind. I didn't want to add too many of that colour. As much as I said it's nice and bright and it's a good colour, it's too bright and would have probably, I think, clashed a bit much with what's on my page. So, yeah. Now, because it is sort of a heavier, it is quite a thick cardboard, that textured back paper, I do use this wet glue to stick it down so I know that it will stick. I don't know how well the adhesive would have gone on it. It probably would have been all right, but I want something that's obviously going to be long lasting. So gave it a good squish, and plus I was covering up some of the texture paste bit as well. So I just, yeah, wanted to make sure it would all stick. So here are some more colours here. I've got like these ones that are really shimmery, and then I found one last night that's like a pearlescent sort of colour as well, which I was going to use on a layout, but I didn't end up using. So I pulled them out thinking I might try and make some embellishments, but I did change my mind. This tag, however, is an embellishment I have made as such myself with some leftover ephemera from my Kitaholic kit in August, as well as some of the lovely, for anyone who subscribes to Inky Quill, Adele Toomey, some of her lovely things we get with her Patreon. If you're not familiar with that, then have a bit of a search for Inky Quill and you will see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so these are, this little white basket here sits on my desk now, and I just print off the printables that come with every month as part of my subscription to her Patreon. And I just use some of these on the page just to pop in some blue from, as I said, the picture has Hannah wearing a blue sort of pyjamas. Yeah, so I wanted to add that. I really liked the blue. I thought it really went well with the rest of the colours on the page. And this is just a cut apart that I had, you would have seen just before. That's from the Chamel Starshine range. And it just says, I love you to the moon and back. Because she really does love the cat. Actually, she loves all of our animals, who am I kidding? But yeah, she thinks it's quite special that Indy goes in and sleeps in her bedroom only. Now, I decided to use these circular pieces because there's those sort of circly-ish kind of colours in that texture paste. I just sort of tied it all really well together. And just the floral pieces there just to add a bit of, I guess a bit of a feminine touch kind of thing to it. I really liked how these colours all really worked quite well together. I think, it went really good. So just fussing around. I do cut a bit out here where I think I flicked through, or I might have already done it, I flicked through some of the cards and things like that of the printables, the Inky Quill printables. And this is, this is just to show there's no plan with this. I literally sat down and wanted to use this paper, decided to use this photo, and I just went with it. Guys, it doesn't, sometimes I like to have a bit of a plan so I know when I sit down this is what I want to do, especially if I want to try something a bit different. But yeah, this page just sort of came together, I guess. I just fussed around a lot more with the ephemera and embellishing and whatnot. But in the end it all sort of fell into place, I guess you would say. And I just had, this is just a white tag I stuck all this on that I had sitting in my stash. Just popping bits and pieces down. Oh, that little lovely, the end of it wouldn't sit down. It was driving me nuts. And just some foam. So I just put some craft foam behind this, just to bump it up to make it level with the top of the page there. I didn't feel I needed it to do it with the tag just because of the embellishing of the tag itself in that bottom right. But this being sort of standing out on its own, I just wanted it to be equal to the photo a little bit, or the map behind the photo, just to add a bit of balance. Just playing around, adding bits and pieces here and there. Again, this is just a strip cut from my the Patreon printables. I use the other half somewhere else. And I just use double-sided tape. Now that texture paste isn't like it's quite smooth, and because of I didn't apply it really thickly, I figure that these will be okay to stick on. The adhesive it will hold. And that yellow one I've popped a little foam piece behind it just to bring it up again. I just added some foam behind just random parts of the layout as well, embellishing just to pop it up a little bit, add a bit of texture, add a bit of dimension, sorry, throughout the layout. I'd like to add a little bit of 3D-ness to it all. I know that's not a word, but whatever. It works for the scrapbooking world. Now all these circle and floral pieces you see are the printables from Patreon. So, yeah. They're absolutely beautiful. She designs them herself, so it's very clever. Very, very clever. Usually I'm a scrapper with a plan, as I said before, but yeah, this one, some layouts I just go, yep, and they fall together quite well. Sometimes there's a lot of editing because I sit there for ages umming and ahhing about what I want because I can never make a decision. But yes, so just use those pink thickers to make my title, which is just Catnap. Nice and easy. And this is my random box. Now, on the weekend, I sorted out my sequins into a big, like, fishing tackle container in case I decide to take fishing. Ha ha ha. But these were just random ones that were in my box that I originally used to use for sequins. This little box my son made me, so it's a bit sentimental, so I use it. So yeah, so these have just got random bits in it. So I just tip some out and I just start placing them down, like some of these sequins down. I do sort of be picking what colour I want to use, trying to keep in with the colour scheme of the pink, the pinks and the blues as well. So as I said, just adding a little bit of glittery sprinkles to the page. Because I like, yes, as I said, it's really bright. It's a really bright sort of happy page. And, you know, sequins always add a little sparkle. And again, just randomly popping them around the page a bit. Just randomly picking them up, putting them down, and away I go. I also come in after this with some new acrylic pieces I've brought from Corbett Creation, which is here in Australia, which is some acrylic hearts, and I use a couple of those as well, which you'll see shortly, just to add something else to tie the hearts in as well. With the background, I've got the photo mat. So here's my fishing tackle box. Lots of essential fishing gear in here, isn't it? So this box has all my sequins, clips, flare badges, buttons, and acrylic pieces at the minute. I'm sure as time goes on, and as I've discovered that the lady I brought the acrylic shapes off actually operates here out of Canberra, so I'm like, woohoo! nice and close. I'm sure my other half's not saying woohoo, but well. But yes, these hearts are really pretty. So I add this, like there's a clear sort of pink one that I've just put near the title. This one down the bottom is like a pale pink, like glittery one. And then there's one at the top that's just sort of a black. So it sort of ties in with all the background papers there and the sparkle that it adds to the page, because yeah, it's very sparkly. Perfect page for my little girl's book, really. I'm not always a big fan of black, like, and hearts, but I thought, no, let's give it a go, and mixed in right, it looks quite good, I think. Now I am going to add a little doodly border just to finish this layout off. So just go around. This is just with my little thin Sharpie, black Sharpie pen. Nothing neat, nothing too, you know, thought about, just scribbling around. As I said, just gives a bit of finish to the page. There is so much colour going around the page. I just thought this black border would sort of really ground it and the whole layout and the whole page. Sort of give that final touch. And then I just add some little squiggly bits and little love hearts around in the corners. And then my layout is pretty much complete. So I will come in now, I think, with the close-ups. I think it's the close-ups. Yeah. All right. All done. I think this layout turned out really beautifully. I'm really happy with it. It's really a sweet layout. And as I said, go and check the Use Your Stuff blog out. It's the links at the end of my video here. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and my other social media pages so you can keep up with all the scrappy goodness. I try and post at least 3 times a week some videos. At the moment that seems to be working, but you know, life gets in the way. But yeah, I will see you again soon in another scrappy video. Have a lovely, happy scrapping day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.